Hello student, very good morning to all of you. How are you? I hope you all are happy, healthy and fine at home. Do you remember what were we discussing yesterday? I think we were discuss about the splitting of PMR peaks, means spin-spin coupling. That is the concept we are discussed somewhat in our previous lecture. Today we are going to discuss more detail about the splitting of PMR peak, means spin-spin coupling. What do you mean by the spin-spin coupling? How the splitting of PMR takes place? It is an useful information regarding as a elucidation of the structure of the organic compound, and it's a very useful concept, and from that we can try to reach to the maximum information about the structure of the organic compound, and that's why this concept is very useful as far as PMR spectroscopy is concerned. Splitting of PMR peaks, spin-spin coupling, and if we observe the PMR spectrum of ethyl chloride, yesterday we have seen, under the low resolution and under high resolution, the low resolution spectrum shows two peaks. Peak A correspond to methyl protons at 1.8 delta, and peak B due to methylene proton at 3.4 delta. The proton ratio is 3:2 as expected. When we look at the high resolution of the same compound, we find that peak A and B are split into number of smaller peaks. Peak A is split into 3 peaks known as a triplet, and the peak B is split into 4 peaks known as a quartet. The splitting occurs in such a way that the average value of the chemical shift does not change, and the total area ratio also does not change, and thus the average delta value of the triplet is split 1.8, still 1.8, and the total area under the triplet is still proportional to 3 protons, and same is true for the quartet also. That we already learned. The separation of PMR peaks into number of smaller peaks is known as splitting of PMR peaks. The separation of PMR peaks into number of smaller peaks is known as splitting of PMR peaks. The splitting occurs due to the coupling of the spin state of the given molecule with the spin state of the adjacent or neighboring nuclei, that is spin-spin coupling. The splitting is caused by the spin-spin coupling. Let us now consider how the spin-spin coupling takes place and how does it lead to the splitting of the peaks. Yesterday we have considered the example of this one. This is the molecule, simplest molecule. It is known as ethyl chloride. This is the name of that compound. When this compound, if PMR spectrum is taken at low resolution PMR here, low resolution PMR. See here, low resolution PMR machine will give two peaks. If you observe the structure carefully, what do you find? Methyl group, all three proton are identical, so that you will get as a one peak. You can call it as, you can label as a. Look at here, this CH2 methylene proton, it is a different chemical environment around it, and so that it is a different proton, and therefore you can label it as a B. So there are two types of the proton, therefore two PMR peaks are observed in the spectrum of this molecule. Now as we know that this is the peak which is at 0 due to the TMS, tetramethylsilane is used as a internal standard or the reference compound, and which has a delta value is 0. Now the approximate value, if you remember the previous lecture, there we have seen the chemical shift, approximate chemical shift value of some of the certain groups. So from that we can easily find out here the methyl group, the approximate chemical shift value, delta value is found to be 1.8, and here this methylene proton which is attached to the chlorine atom due to the -I inductive effect, electron withdrawing inductive effect, there is a de-shielding occurs due to this -I effect, and the approximate chemical value can be found out nearly 3.4 delta. And now look at here, one peak is appear around here, one peak is appear around this one which is 1.8, and now another peak which is appear around somewhere here. So we can show the peak like this, it is around 3.4. Look at the peak appear around 1.8 delta due to the A proton, and the peak appear around 3.4 delta due to the B proton. B proton is a more de-shielded, B proton is a methylene proton. Why they are de-shielded? Because they are attached to the chlorine atom, and as we know that chlorine atom is a more electronegative in nature, and therefore it exerts the more, the magnitude of the -I effect is greater due to that chlorine atom, and therefore it is found to be 3.4. So only two peaks are observed when you take the PMR spectrum of this ethyl chloride. Now let us look at as a high resolution PMR. PMR means proton magnetic resonance. At a high resonance, what is going to happen? Now at a high resolution, the peak is, I am trying to explain what do you mean by the splitting of PMR peaks or spin-spin coupling. So here what is happening here, this A proton, let us see here TMS, it remains as it is. This is due to the TMS tetramethyl 0 which is delta 0. Now next one, A proton get split. When the same compound run in a PMR machine, it will produce the peak like this. One peak is this one. Now look at here, this is the chemical shift value is a 1.8 remains as it is, but one peak is split into 3 peaks. Look at here, 1, 2, 3 peaks, and their intensity ratio also has a different. This is a double than this one, and therefore why this splitting occurs? The splitting is occur due to the spin-spin coupling, spin state of that, because the proton spectroscopy is mainly depend upon those are compound, those nucleus having their spin quantum number greater than 0 are magnetic, and those are having their spin quantum number I is equal to 0 are non-magnetic. If you remember the basic theory regarding that PMR spectroscopy, then you will see here how the spin-spin coupling takes place. Here we are getting as a clear-cut 3 peak. One peak is get splitted into the 3 peak. Why 3 peak? So that we will see later on, but it get when the same spectra is taken at high resolution machine, the SPM spectrum looks like this. The single peak of that A, the chemical shift value remains as it is, but that one peak is get splitted into as a 3 peak, and that 3 peak is known as a triplet. 3 means triplet, that is this singlet, this type of the splitting are known as a triplet, means there are the 3 peaks are there, and that 3 peak we can call it as a triplet. In the PMR spectroscopy, these type of the terms are used here. Suppose there suppose as a only one protons are there, then you can call it as a singlet. If 2 are there, doublet, 3 triplet, 4 quartet, 5 quintet, 6 sextet, and after 6 septet and onward, we can call it collectively is a multiplet. That are the word generally we are going to use here. Suppose as one is there, singlet, then 2 is there, we can call it as a doublet, 3 is there, we can call it as a triplet, then 4 is there, then you can call it as a quartet, then 5 is there, you can call it as a quintet, then you can 6 is there, then you can call it as a sextet. If 7 is there, 7 onward, septet, you can call it as a septet, and onward you can call it as a multiplet. Only after that you can call it as a multiplet. Multiplet means we cannot count the peak, they get merged together, and that's why this kind of the peak are generally referred as multiplet. Now the peak due to as a B, that B is again this type of the peak is observed over there. Now let me clearly show over here the peak due to this one, then 2, 3 and 4. Look at the peak at 3.4, the value remains as it is 3.4, but that singlet, the single peak is get splitted into the quartet. Look at here, there are the 4 peaks, splitting is occur over there, 4, that is this one is called as a quartet. 4 peaks are there, 1, 2, 3, 4, and their intensity ratio also, by looking their height, we can easily find out. So this is the way of determining that. Now let us move on to the next point, that is a one neighboring proton. That is the point we are going to discuss over here. Let's see one group, how this singlet, doublet, triplet or quartet occur, that we are going to discuss right now here. So let's see what is that. One neighboring proton, that is a one neighboring proton. One neighboring proton, one neighboring proton, only one neighboring proton. That is the one of the case we are going to study over here. Let's see this one, hydrogen atom. So hydrogen atom, then here you can write any other group. Here you can say X, also X, Z and Y. Let us see this. Now this is the proton A, you can call it as, and this is a proton B. It is the simplest case we are considering here, one neighboring proton. If one neighboring protons are there, how the splitting occurs? Let's see here. This is a HA proton, this one is a HB proton. Now we are, you know this arrow, this is nothing but as a applied magnetic field. When applied magnetic field applied over here, as we know that the spin of A is parallel to the applied magnetic field, at the same time the proton of HB, which is also as a parallel, and that is a de-shielding of HA due to HB. De-shielding of HA, de-shielding of HA due to HB. In this case, what is happening? De-shielding of HA due to HB. Now this is a figure we can call it as, and now here in the second case HA, this one HB. In the second situation, the HA and the applied magnetic field, this is a H0 is nothing but as applied magnetic field, the same direction, but HB is at opposite direction than the applied magnetic field, and this is a shielding of, this is a shielding of HA due to HB, shielding of HA due to HB. See, this is a one neighboring proton, that is a case we are discussing over here. Consider a proton in a molecule which has one proton on its adjacent carbon. Same situation over here. In this molecule, A is neighboring proton of B and vice versa. A is a neighboring proton of B and vice versa, because HB also has a neighboring proton of A. That's it, so simple. The PMR spectrum of this molecule will produce two peaks with proton ratio 1:1. Look at here. This is a one neighbor, and therefore it will produce, the proton ratio is a 1:1 proton ratio, and it will show as a doublet. Why doublet? There is a one rule, multiplicity rule, 1+1, n, where n is called as the number of neighboring proton. Look at here, only one neighbor is there. If you put as a value 1 + 1 is equal to 2, and 2 is nothing but as a doublet, and the proton ratio intensity, if you take as a spectrum, you will get as a doublet is like this. The intensity of this is the same, so that is the meaning of that doublet. Let the molecule, let the magnetic field produced by the proton, that is the spin state of HA, is parallel to the direction of the applied magnetic field H0, and during this time the magnetic field produced by B, that is the spin state of HB proton, can be parallel to HB or anti-parallel to H0. When spin state of HB is parallel to H0, it results in the de-shielding of HA, and hence magnetic field required to excite HA would be slightly less than H0. On the other hand, when the spin state of HB is anti-parallel to HB, it will result in the shielding of HA, and resonance of HA will occur at slightly higher field than H0, and this spin state of HA can couple with HA in shielding way or de-shielding way, each with equal probability 1:1, and we are going to get as a doublet is a like this, equal probability, and the intensity will be the same one. And thus when there is one neighboring proton HB, it couples with the given proton HA in the two ways, one leading to the shielding and one leading to the de-shielding. The signal due to HA is split into two peaks, a doublet. One of the peak in the doublet is a slightly higher field, up field, and the other at lower field. The average of these two is same as that of the unsplit signal. Just as a coupling of HA with HB split the signal due to HA into a doublet, the signal due to HB will also be split by the HA proton into a doublet. Spin-spin splitting is reciprocal. If there is one neighboring proton, the peak is split into a doublet with relative intensity of 1:1. So that is a simplest. Look at here, HA, when applied magnetic field, the spin state of HA and the spin state of HB is parallel to the applied magnetic field, then there is a it lead to the de-shielding of HA due to the HB. And now, in the another way, the spin state of EHA and the spin state of EHB are anti-parallel with the applied magnetic field, then that lead the shielding effect of HA due to HB, and therefore there is a equal probability of signal 1:1 and height is the same, and due to that we are getting, if only one neighbor is there, we are getting as a doublet. So that is the one neighboring proton system we have discussed here. In the next lecture we are going to discuss the two neighboring proton system, then three neighboring, and so on. Still then, let us stop today here. Thank you. Have a nice day.